Happy Monday, everybody. So today's lesson, we are going to be learning more about commas. We did a little of this last month in school, but we're really going to work on making you better writers. So today our focus is commas. Where do we use commas mostly? What examples we're going to use is when we are listing many things. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some practice together, and then you will have an assignment on your Google Classroom to insert commas yourself. So look forward to today. All right, guys, so as I said before, we are going to do some comma practice today. So mostly what we're going to work on is when we do commas and how we use them when we are listing different items. People, food, animals, places, whatever it is, when we list things, we need to make sure that we separate them with commas. So I have a little practice here that we're going to do together, practice with commas. So when I read this line without commas, it just goes really fast. We're having peas, carrots, roast beef, and cake for dinner. So we're having peas, carrots, roast beef. Peas, carrots, roast beef. So each item, I know we remember this from before, we need a comma. We are having peas, comma. Carrots, comma. Roast beef, comma. And carrot. No, not carrot. And cake for dinner, okay? So each item needs a comma after it. I made a sandwich with bread, cheese, lettuce, and tomatoes. Remember how we were kind of making fun of this before? I made a sandwich with bread cheese, and we said, whoa, what's bread cheese? No, after each item, you need a comma. I made a sandwich with bread, comma, cheese, comma, lettuce, comma, and tomatoes. And remember, no comma after and. I'm going to park with Elsie, Gary, Fred, and Ruby. And remember, we need commas between the names because we're not sure if her name is Elsie, Gary, Fred. What if her first name is Elsie, her middle name is Gary, and her last name is Fred? I'm going to the park with Elsie, Gary, Fred, and Ruby. Commas tell me it's a list. Elsie, comma, Gary, comma, Fred, comma, and Ruby. All right, so next we're going to do, you guessed it, some more practice on commas. So remember, commas go between things in a series. Don't forget to put a comma before the last and. So when we have a list of things, you're going to write the word, comma, and make sure not to do it after the and, but the word and the comma. So we're going to do some practicing, and you'll notice how weird it sounds sometimes when we don't do the comma. So here's the example. The kids had a ball, bat, mitt, and bases. So after each item, we had a comma. Had a ball, comma, bat, comma, mitt, comma, and a base. We do not need a comma after and because and isn't something that we're listing. You just have the comma after the item. So here we go. I did some of your names in this example. I wrote a letter to Eddie, Aaron, and Liam. So a reason is Eddie's last name Aaron? I wrote a letter to Eddie, Aaron, and Liam. No, we need the comma after the subject, each person. I wrote a letter to Eddie, comma, Aaron, comma, and Liam. Remember, I don't need one after and because and isn't a person. The cats, dogs, lions, bears, and zebras were running. So we have cats, dogs, lions, zebras. Each is a different subject. So we need a comma. The cats, comma, dog, comma, lions, comma, bears, comma, and zebras were running. Next one. Did you see the big, tall, and ugly statue? Did you see the big, tall, and ugly statue? So big is describing, tall is describing. So did you see the big, tall, and ugly statue? And remember, with commas, every time you read it, you remember to pause. Okay, it's kind of a little hint in there to pause. Mrs. McEvers won a camera, new car, flat screen TV, and a blue boat. I know we did this one before and we thought that was kind of funny, but how important it is to use commas. Mrs. McEvers won a camera, new car, flat screen TV, and a blue boat. She did not win a camera, new car that has a flat screen. No, we have different items here. Mrs. McEvers won a camera, comma, new car, comma, flat screen TV, comma, and a blue boat. Next one. Emma ran up the hill, over the bridge, and around the town. So think of the different places that they're listing. Emma ran up the hill, comma, over the bridge, comma, and around the town. So comma, comma, comma. Next one, Ethan, Levi, Morgan, and Blake gaped at Ryland. So is the person's name Ethan, Levi, Morgan? First, middle, last? No, we have a series of people. So important. Why? Ethan, comma, Levi, comma, Morgan, comma, and Blake gaped at Ryland. Remember gaping? Good. Number 7, the teacher put Ellie's, Aubrey's, and Lacey's name on the board. Girls! Just kidding. So remember, we're listing Ellie's, comma, Aubrey's, comma, and Lacey's name up on the board. Next one, the police arrested a man, 2 ladies, and a young boy. So they arrested more than one thing. They arrested a man, comma, 2 ladies, comma, and a young boy. Do we need one here? No, because and isn't a thing. Number 9, the cheerleaders jumped and yelled and shouted for us. The cheerleaders jumped, comma, yelled, comma, and shouted for us. And the last one, parents, grandparents, fans, and coaches rushed out of the field. Parents, grandparents, fans? The parents of the grandparents, fans? No, it's different lists. Parents, comma, grandparents, comma, fans, comma, and coaches rushed out on the field. Another hint with commas is usually whenever you put one there, fill in and it'll make sense. So let's say this one, where every comma, let's say the word and. Ethan and Levi and Morgan and Blake gaped at Ryland. Yeah, that makes sense. Mrs. McEvers won a camera and new car and flat screen and a blue boat. So right, each time where you put a comma, it should make sense to put and. So remember in your assignment, word, comma. Good luck. Okay, now that we are pretty comfortable with using commas in a list of items, it is now time to test your knowledge and complete our Google assignment for the day. So as you have always done, make sure to log into your Google Classroom. This list of assignments for this week will be under week 4. So you go to your classroom and hit week 4. Can we already believe we're already starting week 4 of distant learning. And you will hit commas, and this will come up. It was scanned a little crooked, but that's okay. You guys can read it anyways. So each box is where you will type. Now, please remember, I am going to check if you are using capital letters and ending marks and putting commas in the correct spot. So we are going to double click, and we are going to start typing. Remember, capital letter, he fed, milked, and groomed the cows. So it's a list. He fed, milked, and groomed the cows. He fed, comma, milked, comma, and groomed the cows. Period. There is already hinting to you this is capitalized, this is capitalized. Next one, go to the store and get flour, eggs, and sugar. Wonder what flour eggs are. Oh, this is where we are using our comma. Capital G, go to the store and get flour, comma, eggs, comma, and sugar, period. So how nice of Mrs. Zachary, you just have 2 that are done for you. But please remember, before you hit turn in, you are using capital letters, ending marks, and making sure that your commas are in the correct places when you are listing. So remember to hit turn in when finished. Good luck.